Hey Robert, how are you?
What is
So what we do here is we put Chevy 3100s and GMCs on S10 chassis. Right? So I only do 47 to 54. A lot of people say, 55.1, but I don't believe in that bullshit. I just say 54 across the board.
Oh,
But a lot of people call them ad trucks, advanced design. I call them Chevy 3100s. So they had a 3100 is a half ton, and then a 3600 is a 3/4 ton, 3800 is a full ton, and that's all the parts you could use. The cab, the bed, front clip from a 3100 to a 3800. Anything above that, like a ton and a half, all the way up to like a 2.5 ton, you can only use the cab. Because the other Defenders are a little longer, the hood's a little longer, stuff like this.
and this engine is from the S10?
No, this is an LS. This is a 5.3. This is from like a 2002 Silverado. So this, we've been getting into LS's a couple of years ago, and now it's really taken off. But this is the first one I'm putting AC in. So it has all the lines. I just hooked up all the lines before you came. I had this hooked up to see where it's gonna, sit on my motor, and it fits nice actually, because I didn't have to cut out the inner fender. I didn't have to do anything. I got my my dryer kit right there, and I just made the lines actually with my crimper, and I put the radiator in and with the AC condenser on this side. And I was just looking to see if I could get away with a mechanical fan. And I did get away with a mechanical fan because I put in 3-inch spacer plates. So I put the motor back 3 more inches. But it's still nice because the dipstick for the transmission still clears, and all the wiring is coming out of my cabin. It's not tight. It's not kinked or anything like that. I really like the place that we just did this time.
And basically the project starts with the donor cab and the S10 chassis.
Yeah. So right now, actually, you're here on a day that this project over here is in the preliminary stages. Excuse my shop, it's a mess, but
There's no problem.
this is what we do. So, but this is an S10 chassis that came in, and I came in, actually drove in. This is the original 4.3 truck motor. This is a 262 V6, so 262 cubic inches. The first V8 was, I think it was 265 cubic inches. So there's not a lot of difference between the power of a fuel-injected V6 to a small block with a smaller cubic inch small block, 8-cylinder. So this one is I'm keeping the whole drivetrain. I'm using the whole wiring harness, the ECU, everything. Keep it fuel injected and keep the 700R4 behind it because you'll have overdrive.
All of them are in running condition, or?
Yes. Well, it depends. Now, if I'm going to have a truck come in and we're going to leave the drive line, then they have to be running condition because I'm not going to change motors and transmissions if I don't have to when it's going to be a regular 4.3 truck. If it's going to be an LS or a small block like this one, then I'll just get a frame. I'll get a rolling chassis. And when they come in, we do the 2-inch drop spindles, we clean everything up, we do the exhaust end, we do any brake lines, fuel lines, and I utilize everything from the S10. We're just using it as a cutting table right now. This is a standard cab long bed. So it has the wheelbase of 116, 117, something around, We make our own mounts. We cut off the other mounts, the original mounts,
Mm-hmm.
and we make our own mounts, so we know exactly.
The original is here.
Yep. When I first started out, I used probably about 3 different kits. So I wanted to see, you know, if it was easy, if I could just do it myself, I didn't need another person. It's more involved than people think, you know. Yeah, you can do it. You know, you can do anything, right? And I don't see any really difference in structure or integrity between the weld-on and the bolt-on. But after a while, when I started out with 1 truck. Like I bought a truck for myself, and it was a beautiful blue Patina. It was a 52, and it was on the original chassis with a drop axle. And I lowered it a little bit more, and I put a 350 small block in it. But it was horrible. It was horrible. I put front disc brakes on it because Speedway makes a front disc brake kit for the original chassis. But it's a horrible ride. It's horrible. The brakes, you hope they work and they don't stop in time, and you have a small block in there. It's like scary. I call it the teeth chatter, because when you're going around a turn and you're trying to stop, it like chatters your whole body. So that's what made me look into something different. And I was going to Camaro clip it, but I've always been into the S10s. So I was like, let me try it with an S10. I feel that the S10 is the best way to go for, you know, durability. Like everyone says, oh, you know, it's an S10 chassis. But what people don't understand is that an S10, like a long bed standard cab, is about 3,300 pounds. And a 3,100 with a 6-cylinder in it is almost the same. It's like 3,150. So there's not a lot of difference in the body weight, right? It's just if you just throw a small block in there or LS, you know, you could do whatever you want. You could beef up the rear. You could, you know, box the frame. I don't, you know, whatever you want to do. But I've built a bunch of LSs and a bunch of small blocks, and they're still out there today. I'll walk you through a whole build of my process, right? So I'll drive the S10 in. Let's say it's going to be a 4.3 truck. Let's just say. Right, I'll drive the S10 in, probably in this spot, and or in this spot here, and we'll take the, you know, the bed off. We'll take the front end off, and then I know exactly, you know, what wire to cut, or I really don't even cut wires anymore. I just know exactly what I need. And we'll take the, you know, the doors off, and then we'll take the cab off, and we'll put everything outside. Wait for my guy to come that takes the scrap, because a lot of them come in here and they need cab corners and rockers, and everyone says, "Oh, you should sell the parts," but I'm you know, deal with Facebook.
I know.
What? So anyway, so you know, it'll get down to this stage, and it will take us, you know. It used to take us a while to strip everything down, but like I said, now we know what to do. So
and make some fixing and
yeah, like right now right now it's perfect for, you know, put the drop kit in. If it needs a brake line, if the, you know, need new shocks, whatever it needs, it's perfect to do it now. So, you know, I take the fan off because I'm not going to move the motor, and I can't use the fan on this one. I also moved the battery cables so I could put the battery box against the firewall. Stuff like that. It's little tricks of the trade that I learned. And I have my kits made already, my body mount kits. And one guy is working on this, and the other guy is stripping the truck. So the truck will come in right after this. And probably like the same day, actually.
Same day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually only takes us a half a day to strip a truck now. But I made this up, this little, you know, crane system that goes, you know, right onto a cab, and I lift, you know, I disassemble all the bracketry and all that stuff, or cut all the bolts so I can take them out. And I take the cab off, and I put it in this spot, and then we take the bed off, and we put it up, and we take the front clip off. And then we...
Did this truck already have the S10 chassis?
Yes, this is I would say a little more than halfway done because it's about to finish the body work and go into paint. So actually the inside is painted already, and we just put the glass in before you came.
So will be red outside?
Yeah. So we made our own. We make our own tunnels. We make our own kick panels now. Because I have a bead roller. But this is, this is a typical example of when it comes in, what it needs. So it needed the floors, it needed the tunnel, it needed the kick panels, it needed the cowls. Yeah, I usually use, what people like is the second row Tahoe seat. I used a Ford Explorer seat before, which are really nice. And they're pretty available because the police cars, right, that's how I get them, the police cars, they don't want a back seat. Some of them have cup holders, and the newer style ones like the 2020 or 2018 and up, I don't know exactly what year, but you can integrate seat belts into, because they have a middle belt, right, that's integrated into the seat, and they have the female side on each side for the driver and the other passenger on this side. So what I do is I integrate Tahoe seat belts into the cab. So it'll be a 3-point harness over your shoulder. So it's very, it's definitely more secure than a laptop. But I've just been doing that now because I've noticed that they integrated seatbelts in. Yeah.
Another issue here you have to change, it's the fuel tank.
As you see, we just make our own little plate and we weld and we just do a little body work over it. So it's like it was never there. But I like to leave the gas tank right where it is because I used it, this is actually a 4.3 truck as well. So I'm using the whole driveline. I'm using the whole fuel pump, the fuel system.
The neck is like this?
It'll be modified that it'll be in the corner of the bed. I put a new bed in here. I make my own wheel wells. But it'll be in the corner of the bed and it'll be flush with the bed floor. So it looks like, and I put the original cap on. So it looks like it's
no pops, just flush the
flush on the floor. So all you got to do is take the cap off and the phone. Like there's so many people into these now. Like when I started about 10 years ago, just on the trucks, I've been doing cars since I'm 15, 14 years old. I changed my first motor and transmission with my dad when I was 10. And then, life takes different turns. Right? So I went to school for civil engineering. I had a job in Midtown Manhattan. Then I own my own business in Brooklyn, and that's where I'm from. But, and then I came back around to these trucks. Well, the way I do it is, the way I was doing it was like everybody else. I would build the truck and sell it. But then my phone started going crazy. Like everybody wanted a truck. So I started buying up trucks that I could afford, and I started building them. And one guy called me up and he was like, "Listen, I really want a truck." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm building it now. It's not done." He goes, "Can I put a deposit on it?" It wasn't even. It was like probably in the shape of that. It was just like a cab. And I said, "Yeah." And so I started from there. And so now.
And you sold some for overseas.
Oh yeah, I have like a truck on probably 5 of the 7 continents.
Wow.
All over Europe, South America, Japan, Australia. I got one going over to Malaysia.
And how do you feel about this?
I feel that I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed to have a business that I could just come and go when I want. But also, a lot of people don't see that I busted my ass for years and decades to get to where I'm at. So it wasn't just building a truck, it was business, right? It was when I was a civil engineer, a negotiation of business and reading contracts and all these things. So and setting deadlines for myself. you know, and raising children and raising a farm. It's like all these things add up to where I'm at now. It wasn't just I had this idea of putting 17-inch rims on an S10 and boom. No, it was busting my ass. It was researching, staying up late after my kid finally falls asleep with a fever. Like,
and like try and fail and learn.
oh, you know how many times? I fail a lot. It's not like this just comes to me, you know, like I didn't go to school for any of this. I didn't go to school for business. You know, I didn't even, the only thing I went to school for was civil engineering. But that showed me how to design things. It showed me that I could take a space and I could design it and make it, you know, really usable and gorgeous. And the thing that, what I feel about this is I'm like a recycler, right? This is what I do. This one came from Texas. This one came from Georgia. This one is a mishmash. Came from the cab. Came from Connecticut. The bed probably came from when I bought all the stuff down in North Carolina. You know, so it's
Sometimes it's not all. It's not the same truck.
no. You know, I hardly buy full trucks now. Everybody wants the Patina, but they're very hard to find a full truck with the same Patina.
This is, I think it's a good patina.
Yeah, this is.
But sometimes you reproduce the patina with
Yes,
your
I
paint.
do. And I don't have a truck here right now that I paint.
Uh,
You know, so actually I'm painting that in this one probably within a week. And then this will have, both of them will have the patina. But yeah, I reproduced the patina paint. So it's not real patina, but it looks, I think it looks, you know, it's more a distressed look, more like it's been sitting out for a while.
and how about the like here you have to make a bodywork to the corner? Because
Yeah.
it's rough.
So I will match that.
Ah, okay.
So when that new panel goes in,
Uh-huh.
you know, the cowl or the cab corner, I will match that. Somebody was going to throw this out, right? Somebody was really going to throw this out. They didn't want to look at it no more. They were like, it's totally rotted. Nobody can fix this. And then it comes in here, and then 6 weeks later, somebody's driving their kids around to go get ice cream. That's awesome.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. 6 weeks. My worker, we built his truck in 2 weeks.
It's unbelievable because everybody knows how long it is to restore a car, even in patina. Look.
Right, but I'm not restoring. I'm not changing every nut and bolt. You know, like my 70 Chevelle, yes, I restored it. I changed every nut and bolt, every fitting, you know, I put everything new. This is not that. This is, I would say, like a restoration modification, right? But I'm not restoring, totally restoring. I'm resurrecting basically what somebody was going to throw out.
Yeah.
Now, everyone has to understand that these are 70-year-old trucks. Like, think about that. They're 70-year-old. Most of them have been sitting in the field most of their lives. Like the farmer probably used it for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And so many people come up to me and they want a new truck. I can't do a new truck. I'm not GM engineering. I'm not, you know, a big company. It's just me and another guy, and that's it. They want a new truck. They want to go into a new Silverado with an old body. Yes, there's companies out there that could do that, but they also cost $300,000. How can you expect that for 1/8 of the price?
Yeah.
You know, or whatever it is, 1/10 of the price. You know, so, but I wanted to make it affordable for people like an everyday person that really likes classic cars or classic trucks and wants the comfort of driving, you know, something with front disc brakes, power steering, you know, drop suspension. That's what my whole goal was. Because, like I said, I have a Chevelle, I got this and I got that, and I was into shiny stuff, but it's too much stress with little kids and going to shows and someone bumping into your car, and it's like, And then I got into the Patina, and I was like, what? You kidding me?
Yay! Oh my god, it's so cool. Bye. Have fun.
What's my favorite? I go back and
GMC.
yeah, it's not a GMC, which I don't want to discourage any GMC guys out there. My favorite, it has to be, I really like the 54. Everyone disagrees with me, but I love the grill on the 54.
5-window or?
It doesn't matter to me. I think they're
Oh, yeah.
all really beautiful. But also, I go back and forth. I had a 52, and I love the 5-bar grill, you know, the iconic grill. And I also like the 54 because it was really 1 year only. I don't consider it to be a 2-year truck. It was 1 year only, and it was so Art Deco, and it was like, whoever designed that grill, like really captured the time in 54 with that grill. So, I really like that grill.
And about the engine?
Everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but I like a 4.3. I really do. I like a 4.3. They're so dependable, reliable, and if you have to change something, it's like $15 from AutoZone. It's awesome. You know, but I do love an LS. You know, I drive them. I drive the LSs up and down to test drive them, and the sound you can't, you know, and the power is amazing. You know, I kind of got out of the small block Chevy carb when the LS came along. You know, when we started doing LS in here, because I like the fuel injection now. But if something goes wrong on an LS, it's more diagnostics than if something goes wrong with a car. So, but the 4.3 is, I like that truck. I like that motor. I think it's more than enough power, and it cruises, and you can go 80 miles an hour, and you're in overdrive,
And you
Good
can
on
use
gas.
it every day.
you could use it every day.
Cool.
But, you know, if you want to use it every day and you want to go to work and you have rattles and the windows are rattling and, you know, you have a vent that can't, you know, get fully closed and, you know, yeah, that's what, if you want that, hey.
What the hardest part in this build for you?
I was going to say the customer, but it's not. It's not the customer because I have some really awesome, I keep in touch with a lot of my customers. They always send me pictures of their Christmas cards, you know, because they had the truck in the Christmas card. Or they'll send me pictures, like this guy sent me a picture. He won a national truck show with one of my trucks. What's the hardest part of this whole thing? I would say lining everything up, like wheel spacing. I always check it by eye. I like the stance. The wheel spacing has to be spot on. The stance has to be spot on. The tuck of the wheel, like those are the things I really look for because those are the things that separate me from a lot of other people. I know that body shops out there, they try to get a 3/8 gap or a 3/16, whatever the ridiculous, all the way around the state, right? And I know for a fact that a lot of these trucks came from the factory. I will work on this door, you know, or my guy will work on this door for a couple of hours, and then if it shuts and opens up at a nice pace, I'm cool with it. I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for functionality. That's exactly what I'm going for.
Leave your Instagram or Facebook to the guys.
Yeah, so my Facebook is Robert, and the last name is Gyuro. And the company is named Resurrection Trucks. You know, you could message me from Facebook, and you know I can answer some of your questions. I'm very busy, so if you're doing a build at home, I would love to answer some of your questions, but I can't really get to everyone's questions because I'm doing my own thing here. But also, and if you want to build, the process is you contact me through my phone or Facebook, and we would start going over the details. But right now I'm booked out a long time.